Hey, we're going to be going over how to input a video into Logger Pro and then do some video analysis with it. So first thing you need to do, make sure you've downloaded the video to the computer. Okay, so you need to email that video to yourself or put it into Google Drive and then download the file. Okay, from there we need to open Logger Pro. So on the school computers, go down to the Start menu and then just start typing in Logger Pro and it will show up. And we can open it up. All right, so this is just the basic default screen from Logger Pro, and we're going to go Insert, Movie, and from here we need to go to wherever you downloaded the video to. So for me, that's in Downloads, Test Video 1, and then hit Open. And then it might take a little bit, but we just gotta wait and let it start. Alright. Now this is going to be a good example of what happens when it doesn't go perfectly, because I've tried messing with this video file as much as possible, and no matter what, it always comes up sideways. So we're just going to make do. You know, sometimes this stuff doesn't work out perfectly, but if I hit the play button right here, hey, this was video of just me dropping a ball. And there it is. Alright, so we're going to use this video. We want to fast forward the video with the scroll bar down here till right before you start to drop it. Eventually I'll drop the darn thing. Alright, so we'll back up a little bit. So from here, there's this little button down here with the 3 red dots and the triangle. We're going to click that to get the menu to come up. And the first thing we want to do is set the scale. So remember, we put a meter stick in the background of our picture. So we're going to click this button that looks like a ruler for set scale. And you're then going to click and drag the length of the meter stick. So click on one end and drag the line to the other end of the meter stick. And it's going to say, how long of distance is that? And 1 meter. Alright, so now we've given our video a sense of scale. And the next thing we want to do is we want to set the axis. We want to tell the computer where 0 is. So we want to start that right at the ball. So the little button right here above the ruler that has a little green looking XY axis, we're going to click that button and click right at the start of the ball. And you can see that pops up a little XY axis for us. And the other thing we're going to do is if you right click on the video and go to movie options, one of the other things we can do is if you have such like a high power camera that it takes a billion frames and the ball's hardly moving every time you click, you can change this number so that it passes like 3 frames or 5 frames if you have a super high power camera. You'll see what I mean here in a sec. I'm going to leave it at 1. And we're going to hit the little forward arrow to skip ahead till you see my hand let go of the ball. Right when we let go of the ball, I'm not holding on to it anymore. Now I'm going to start setting my data points. So I'm going to click the button right here that says Add Point, second button from the top. And I can start clicking my data points here. So I'm going to always try to click in the same spot. So I'm going to try to click on the left-hand side of the ball. So there's my first point, and see every time I click, it just added a data point up here, and the ball actually moved a little bit. So same thing, I'm going to keep clicking on the very left of the ball. We always want to click in the same spot. And see the ball is accelerating, so the dots are getting further and further apart because the ball is speeding up as it falls. So still trying to click on the furthest left spot of the ball. As it starts moving faster, it's going to get a little blurry. Just do your best to click in that same spot. And somewhere around there, boop, and then it bounced. And I don't need to worry about the bounce. I'm only worried about when it's falling. Okay, so I set all my data points, and it almost ends up looking like a motion map. set all my data points, and I'm going to click the graph behind it so that I can actually see what it was doing. Because as you can see, every click that I did, it was plotting a point. So let's see what happened. So in this graph, we have the X position versus time and the Y position versus time. Now you can click any one of these axes to change what's showing up there. We're always going to leave time on the bottom, so we don't need to mess with this one at all. But here, let's just look at what was happening in the X direction. Okay. As it was falling, and in this case, because my darn video was sideways, down was in the X direction. So right here we have this position graph, which is good. Remember, curved position graphs tell us that the object is accelerating. What we're really worried about is the velocity. So let's take a look at what the velocity graph looks like. Okay. And pretty straight, right? Over here must have been when it's starting to get hard to see because the ball gets a little blurry and my clicks might be a little off. But from here we can get this good linear fit. And if I want to actually get a math model for this, I can go up here to these buttons, and this button right here is a linear fit. So linear fit. Boom, and it actually gives me a nice linear fit. Okay, and it gives me everything. It gives me what the slope of my data is. It tells me what the intercept of my data is, and it even makes a little equation for me that I can plug those values in. All right. So we're going to go through this with the ball that was dropped, and then try it again with the ball that we threw up in the air as well.